Hey guys, today we're working on circuit diagrams. And yeah, okay, so today we're working on circuit diagrams. We'll be doing series and we'll be doing parallel, but we're not going to be doing any combined today. It's just one or the other. All right, this first page is dealing just with series circuits. Okay, to do series circuits, we need to know two things. We need to make sure that we know Ohm's law, okay, which is current is equal to voltage divided by resistance. Okay, and then what you went over yesterday with Mr. Luis, the Kirchhoff's laws. I think I said that right. Okay. Here's some things that'll help you. When it comes to voltage with a series circuit, okay, the total voltage is equal to the sum of all the parts. Okay. The total current is the same throughout a whole diagram. Dot, dot, dot. All right. And then lastly, the total resistance is also the sum of all the parts. Okay. Again, knowing these will help you figure out, because we're going to be going through and filling in all the blanks. I know these have numbers next to them. You don't have to do them in that order. The numbers are there to help you to turn in, or whenever you're entering the answers, this is what I'm looking for. Okay, but you can start anywhere on here and then go from there. Okay, so with this first one, let me go ahead and switch colors. All right, if you look, all right, so here's where our battery is. Okay, here's the 3 resistors. So we'll go ahead and we'll call this R1, R2, R3. Okay. It is wanting to know what the current is at each one. Okay, and then at the battery, it's wanting to know the current, the voltage, and the resistance. So let's see, where do I want to start at? Okay, if we started with current, because looking here, the current should be the same for each spot. Okay, we can use Ohm's law to find the current for each of these and see if they're the same number, which again, they should be. All right, so current is voltage divided by the resistance. Okay, so 8 divided by 10, and that should be 0.8. Okay, 12 divided by 15 is also 0.8. 16 divided by 20 is 0.8. Okay, so I used Ohm's law. The I equals voltage divided by resistance, voltage divided by resistance at each step, and notice how these all came out the same answer. Okay, so when we're trying to figure out number 1's current over here, it is also going to be 0.8. All right, so now when I look, so we have a voltage, we have a resistance at the 3 resistance spot or resistor spots. Okay, voltage is the sum of all the voltages. All right, so to figure out the voltage at the battery, we're going to do 8 plus 12, which is 20, plus 16. So we should get 36. And the resistance is also the total of all the resistors. Okay, so here we have 10 plus 15, so 25, plus 20. So that total should be 45. Okay, so that's what you're going to be doing throughout this. Okay, you're going to be using these rules right here to help fill in the blanks. And think of it kind of like a Sudoku puzzle, if you've ever done one of those. There's not a correct place to start at. You just got to figure out what information you can, where you can, and then use what you figure out to help continue solving them. Okay. A little bit of help with this second one, okay, is because it doesn't give us the same information. Oh man, that did not print out good at all. All right, so this is 15 ohms, okay. This should be 5. This is 20. And then you're looking for the voltage there. And current, okay, and this one says 120 volts. All right, so sorry that didn't copy very well. Hopefully you're watching this video so you can get what you need to know. All right, okay, so for this one, you're going to find, let's see, we have the resistors, okay, so you can find the R value first, okay, so number one, you're going to find the total resistance, okay, then you're going to use Ohm's law to solve for the current, which is I, current is I. All right, so you're going to solve for this first, okay, because this is the R total, wherever the battery is. And then once you find that, you can solve for the current value. And remember that current is the same throughout. So once you find this current, you'll be able to fill in the rest of the current spots. And then you'll have 2 out of the 3 variables for each of these. So then you can use Ohm's law to solve for the voltage for the rest of it. Okay, so that's your hint with this one. All right. So once you solve this one, you should be getting a pretty good idea of what to do. My hint for this last one is remember current is always the same in a series circuit. Okay, so again, you're going to use your knowledge, you're going to use these equations, and you're going to be able to solve for the series circuit. All right, so now, go ahead and pause the video, solve for these. When you're done, let's do circuit diagrams in parallel. Sorry, making sure that the numbers all copied good on this one. Looked like they did. Okay, so when you're solving series circuits for parallel, you're still going to need Ohm's law. Current is equal to voltage divided by resistors. Okay, but now the other equations have changed a little bit. Okay, for voltage, okay, the voltage stays the same throughout the circuit. Okay, the current, the total current is the sum of all the currents in it. All right, Mr. Louis talked about that yesterday. And then we've also seen this before, but when it's in a parallel circuit, the resistance is 1 over R. Okay, and the sum of all of those. Just kind of ran out of space there. Okay, so notice that for parallel circuits, these have kind of changed a little bit, but we're going to be following the same concepts to solve them. Okay, so looking at this first one here, all right, we've got 3 bits of information. All right, so let's see what we can go ahead and plug in without doing much math. All right, here it says the voltage is, it's a 9-volt battery. okay? And we know that voltage is the same throughout. So that means I'm going to put 9 volts here and 9 volts here. All right, so now I have 2 out of 3, so I can figure out the resistance using Ohm's law for both of these. Okay, so let's go ahead and finish both of these, and then we'll do this part over here. Okay, so Ohm's law is current equals voltage divided by resistance. But if we're trying to find R, okay, that means that the resistance is equal to voltage divided by current. Okay, so 9 divided by 4, which is 2.25. Okay, so here we'll have 9 divided by 2, which is 4.5, and the unit should be ohms. Okay, so now we've solved for R using Ohm's law. All right, so now to solve for the total current and the total resistance. Okay, the total current is the sum of all the other currents. So we have 2 plus 4, which is 6. Okay, so 6 amps. All right, and so now we're left with R. So we can solve R one of 2 ways. We can do like we did with these, where we do 9 divided by 6 and get 1.5. Or you could have chosen to do it 1 over R total is equal to 1 over, let's see, so what do we get? 1 over 4.5 plus 1 over 2.25. Okay, either way, you should be getting the answer of 1.5. All right. When we look at the second problem, it's very similar to what we just did. So I'm not going to give you hints. You can do this one. Okay, again, using the same trajectory, the same path that we did for the one before. For this last one, notice how we don't know the voltage for anything. Okay, but what do we know? We know 3 of the 4 resistance. Okay, so what you're going to do is first, you're going to find this R value. Okay, so you're going to have 1 over the total is equal to 1 over R1 plus 1 over R2 plus 1 over X. And so you're solving for X right here. Okay, so this is first. All right, then once you do that, then use Ohm's law to solve the rest of the blanks. Okay, so I'm gonna let you guys get to work. Ask your teachers if you have questions. A lot of this, again, it's like Sudoku where you're just trying to figure out which blanks can you solve first, and then that leads you to solving other blanks. Okay, let us know if you got questions. We're here to help. All right, keep being awesome.